Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this new video here on the YouTube channel of Stavanger Foto. Today we will talk about Capture One Pro. But first of all, who I am. My name is Philip Reichwein. I'm a German photographer and since 2014 I'm a big fan of Capture One. So I did a lot of YouTube tutorials about the software, explain how to work. And today I'm happy to explain you something about this nice raw converter. And yeah, one little special, it's my first speech in English language. So I hope you will like it. I hope you understand everything. If not, or if you have any questions, then type it into the chat or the comment field and then I will answer it. Today I will guide you through the software, will show you some very nice functions, helpful features, and I will show you my workflow from taking some pictures to editing some pictures. Are you ready? Then I would say let's start. Let's start with a little story about me and Capture One. In 2014 I bought a medium format camera and the files out of this camera are not working with Lightroom. But to this time I used Lightroom. Since then, I have to work with Capture One. And I know how hard it is to understand everything inside the software because you have a lot of options, a lot of arrows, a lot of dialog boxes. And so I know the feeling if you're new to the software. But today I will guide you through the software and help you to work easily and get out the best of this very nice raw converter. To bring in images inside Capture One, we have to decide on which platform we want to work. There are two options. The first is a catalog, maybe you heard about it, and the second one is a session. And that's one of the most answered questions, which of these two types should I use? And the answer is very easy. If you have an archive, a lot of pictures like 2020, 2019, 2018, birds, trees, dogs, what else, then you will need to work with the sessions because then Capture One works as an interface only. So you can edit your images, but the images are staying on the place where you placed it. Maybe on your SSD or server or what else. So it's very easy. And then you don't have to copy in it to the session. No, you drag and drop it. You also have an Explorer. It's like a typical Windows or Mac Explorer. And then you can choose your images, edit, and export it onto every folder you want. That's so easy. The second way of manage your images is to use a catalog. The biggest difference about working with catalog or sessions is to understand how Capture One will handle your images and also where to store the adjustments. That's also important. If you work with sessions, then, like I told you, the images on a folder on your hard drive or in your archive and all of the adjustments will save to the chosen folder. So if you brought in a folder named cats and you added some cat pics, then all of the adjustments will be there in this folder. If you work with a catalog, all of the adjustments will save inside the catalog. That's also a big difference about these two platforms. In my opinion, the easiest way for beginners or people who are owning an archive, use sessions. If you want to work compact, then try out the catalogs. They're also very nice because you then have cool functions like the intelligent folders. So you can sort your images by lenses or settings like aperture or ISO or what else. It's also very cool. Then you have to work with the catalog. One little hack about the catalog is if you import your images and you want to bring in the images inside to the catalog, then in this import window, here you have the import to, and then you can select between add to catalog or copy into catalog. Here is a very, very helpful notice about that. If you choose add to catalog, then the files will stay on, for example, here the SD card, and you only see the images on Capture One. If you remove the SD card, then all your photos are gone. That was one of my biggest mistakes about working with Capture One. So I lose 1,200 images after a shooting because I bring it in, open the catalog, added it to the catalog, remove the SD card, formatted it, and all pictures are gone. So always choose copy into catalog, and then they are physically inside the catalog. Let's start with step number 1, the interface. This is Capture One. I started with a session. I will talk about sessions and catalog later. Here you will find everything that you need. First, on the top bar, you see here are these dialog boxes with different functions. Then here on the top bar, there's import and export, 2 useful functions. Then the cursor tools are also very useful. And on the right side, some little helpers like the before and after slider, copy and apply, because you can copy every style that you are creating in Capture One and apply it on 1 or 10,000 images on the same time. That's very useful. Then also styles, because every adjustment you can save as a style and bring it on the next 100 images, and different other functions. The cool thing about this is you can easily customize your toolbar or the complete interface and remove some things that you will never use or bring in some cool functions that you will absolutely use, like the overlay function. You can overlay your images with logos from your clients, and then they can see it on the screen and say, wow, nice, that looks so fantastic. Little function, I like it. Then I close it. On the left side, you will have different registers. And in these registers, there are the editing functions. And I will show it to you very quick. First, this folder symbol. You will find your images or the Explorer window inside this, because think about a folder, and that's the perfect symbol for it. The next one is the camera symbol. Here will happen some magic with our Canon camera, this little wire here, and our nice MacBook. The next tab is the exposure tab. Here you will find tools like exposure, the fantastic HDR tool. We will talk about that later because it's so amazing. And other things like clarity, dehaze, etc. Very cool. In the next tab with these little 3 boards or circles, you will find everything about editing the color inside your images. There are tools like the color editor and the color balance. Absolute fantastic things to get out the best of the colors of your picture and also bring in some color looks like you know it from different famous photographers from magazines like Vogue and etc. You can do a lot of magic here. Trust me. In the next tab, you will find functions for getting more details, like the sharpness adjustment. Try it out. It works very good. In the next tab, we talk about the lens, because some of you out there have to correct the lens because you need much straighter lines. Then you can use the keystone tool, and I'm sure architecture photographers are very thankful for this tab, so try it out. Then there is a tab, every one of you will love it. It's the styles and preset tab. Here you can find all of your saved styles, also some basic styles from Capture One, and then you can hover over these different styles and you will see it live on your chosen images. And with one click, you bring it in on 1 or 1,000 images. Yeah, that's time saving, definitely. And then here you will find metadata, and that's everything. Everything you need. And the cool thing about every tab is you can bring in or remove here different functions. If you say, I don't need base characteristic like ICC profiles, then you can remove the tool. Or you say, I'm missing the clarity tool inside my color tab. No problem. You see, right click here on the gray area, add tool, and then choose whatever you want. And the last thing about this interface is you can save everything. That's very nice, because with one click, or okay, to be honest, 2 clicks, click 1 and then click 2, you can open your workflow or your layout. And maybe if you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and he also wants to use Capture One, then he can create a layout for his work, and you can create a layout for your work. So good. I really love this function. And that's the interface. Do you ever heard about tethering? Yes? No? Write it into the comments, because now we talk about tethering with Capture One. I think it's one of the biggest benefits. And studio photographers, also landscape photographers, architecture photographers, and everyone who wants to have a first nice view after capturing will benefit from this function. What you need your camera, a cable, and your laptop with the software. We support over 600 cameras, and every year there will be more supported cameras. It's so easy. Stick inside the cable here on your port, then turn on your camera, and Capture One will automatically connect both systems together. So, but what's so nice about that function? Easy. First, if you capture an image, like I will do with Command K, you see I can capture an image while I'm, click here on the laptop. Now you see in a half of a second my image. Now you can control your image. You can check if it is too bright, too dark, if you have to adjust your light or adjust the settings inside the camera. And that's the second benefit. Yeah, you can control your complete camera inside the software. You see here we have ISO automatic, then we have here shutter speed, aperture, and also a lot of different options, like here the white balance, here the image quality, RAW or JPEG. You should always work with RAWs, not with JPEGs. Yeah, shoot with RAWs. Then it depends on your camera what kind of settings you can adjust here, but for me it's so nice. On a set, while we're shooting with models or with clients, I have a digital operator. So he can control my complete camera while I'm capturing pictures. Yeah, and then the complete group comes back to the monitor. We check the images. The client can say, wow, I really love that one. You can rate it with 1 to 5 stars. That's nice. Or you can overlay the image with the logo of the client. And then he says, wow, it looks so fantastic. I love it. Very useful features. And also, you can apply your styles, color looks on the image while importing. And that is time saving. And also you get a first view about the idea of the image and the color look. So maybe makeup artists can say, I need more contour, for example. And that's so nice to have this function. So see the image in a half second, control the image, control the camera, capture here from the system so you don't have to move your camera. Product photographers, I have some very useful tools for you. Here you have the live view. And I know you will place your camera on the tripod and you don't want to move it. But maybe the focus isn't right on the spot that you want, then you can here click on these little arrows here and adjust the focus live while you here see the image. And that's live. That's absolutely helpful and amazing. Also, it depends on the camera. You have here the depth of field function. So it simulates how the amount of aperture will look on the final image. Also very useful. Then you have here the grid. You can insert different grids. Here is the overlay I talked about before. And you see, it's a complete system to work remote. Let the camera be on the tripod and then shoot it here, capture via a button. You can insert here on the symbol bar. You can bring in. You can also press Command K on a Mac system, or on Windows is STRG and K. What should I tell you more about that workflow? So easy. If you're thinking that step number 3 was very helpful, then I can promise step number 4 will absolutely be amazing. If you thought that step number 3 was absolutely amazing and helpful, then yes. But no, then step number 4 will absolutely be stunning. So I will show you the tools of Capture One. I imported some images and now I show you my favorites of the tools to adjust my images. And don't wonder, I removed some tools from this tab or move it to other tabs. So it's my own created interface. You know, you can save them. And if you're using version 21 or later 22, you will have all of these functions. If you don't have Capture One, then visit the website of Stavanger Foto and buy a license. If you're wondering why here some tools are missing or different than your Capture One version, is because I defined my own workflow and also my own interface and saved it. I told you before that's possible, very nice. But now I will show you my favorite tools to get out the best of my images. I imported some images, fashion, landscape, also beauty and portraits. Let's start with this drone image. I took a lot of images for my clients who's owning a company for solar plants, and my goal here is to adjust the colors, adjust the contrast, make the image a little bit more shiny, more touchable, and also get a very healthy natured look. So I will start with the contrast. I adjust it, bring it a little bit in here. Then the brightness, I will bring it a little bit down. So I get a first, contrast in the image. And then I will move on to the high dynamic range. It's a tool that you will only find in Capture One. And here you have the full control over the highlights and the shadows. So if I reduce the slider here down to 80 or 90, then Capture One will save every bright area. And if you capture an image with a lot of sky, then you maybe know the problem that always the sky is too bright or the ground is too dark. Here you have the slider to adjust this. I bring back the details here, also bring up the shadows. So now you can see here the forest way more better with way more details. And the magic about this tool is it isn't only the adjustment of shadows and brightness. No, if you're using it, normally you bring up the details and the colors are, they blush out or they are too saturated. And here the tool lets the colors like they are and they only adjust brightness and darkness. And that's what a professional photographer wants. Don't adjust a detail that I don't want to adjust. You know what I mean? And I will show you this nice tool later with a portrait because there is some other magic. You will see. Okay, So I will bring up here the shadows a little bit, save some area here in the sky. Now there is a white point. Here you can see the white areas get a little bit more shiny, and I can here bring in a little bit more contrast in the black side. I personally recommend here this black slider, and don't handle too much with the contrast slider. It's my personal taste. Then we need absolutely clarity here. You see, you can bring up the slider here, and also you have here a little drop down menu with different kind of techniques which the effect will affect your image. So for example, punch here kicks the mid contrasts way more than here natural. Then you have also neutral, and you can decide which style for your image is the best one. The next amazing effect tool is the dehaze. Maybe you know dehaze from other tools like Lightroom, but the biggest difference in here is that you can calibrate the effect. When do you use dehaze? Every time your image looks like a little bit flat, or you took an image of mountains and then you realize there is some haze and you're losing a lot of contrast, then you can adjust this effect. But the biggest issue about this is the color of the complete image is getting way more saturated, and it could be that some colors are not accurate. With Capture One, we want to have accurate colors, real colors. And so you can activate this little symbol here and click on an area that have such haze in it and is a little bit darker. So here you can see I clicked here on this field. There is some dehaze. I can zoom in here. There you can see it, or here is better. It's the shadow here of the forest. And now you see in the lower part of the image, now the colors are jumping a little bit and the tool is calibrating itself. And so jump back, and you can always click on the name of the tool, press the left mouse key, you will see the before, and then move away your finger and you see the after. Before and after, before and after. And so now you have a way more contrast also in the haze areas, but not two different colors or two oversaturated colors. Try that out. It's absolutely amazing. You can also move this slider to a negative way. But when you should do this? If you have images with some smoke or dust, then you can do it, and then you can bring up this dust and it looks more flat, more mysterious. It could be a cool look. So try it out. I really like it. So, and then I complete my exposure. Maybe we can brighten up here the image a little bit. And now I press the Y key. So I can now move the slider left and right. You see here before and after. Before and after, yeah. It's the same image. And it was very time saving. Without talking and explaining to you, I need 1 minute. And that's absolutely amazing. After the exposure, we will move on to the color tab. And inside this color tab, there will be mighty tools that will help you to adjust colors and get a really unique look onto your images. I will show you first of all one of my favorite tools, the color editor. Here you will see the color editor. If you want, you can here drag this little window outside of my register here to see it a little bit better, or bring it back. And you have here 3 little tabs. All of them will help you. Basically, you can use basic. It's easy. Click on the little color window here, for example, green or yellow, and then you can adjust the hue, the saturation or the lightness. And it's very easy. I click here and then I can turn it a little bit more in the yellow direction or here in the saturated green section. If you want to adjust one little area of a color area, one small area, the brightest blue or the darkest green or what else, then we have the Advanced tab. And here, inside the Advanced tab, we have this symbol here, the pick color correction. And if I click now, for example here on this blue area, then you can see, okay, something happened here inside my color ball. Now he picked the blue tone. And now I can click here on view selected color range. And now everything is gone to black and white. But my color area that here I selected is showing in colors. And that's perfect. Now I can say, okay, this area is perfect, or I can adjust it a little bit here, go more to the darker blue tones, here to the lighter blue tones, near to cyan or little green. And also here, if you drag and drop this little area here, and now you choose the light area. You choose how much brighter area or darker area you want to select. And that's very nice. I love it. And so I choose all the blue tones, and I don't want to select the darker blue tones of the solar plant. So it's perfect. And now I will darken the sky a little bit and saturate it more. Here, bring up the saturation. And here I deselect the view selected color range. And now also a very cool function is I can here mark it or unmark it. And now you can click many times inside the picture here. For example, select here this little red area, say, hey, I don't want to see this red area, adjust it a little bit. Here, bring back all of my informations, and now have a look here on this house. Only this house is desaturated and everything else is like before, it's normal. And it's so useful for a lot of editings. Let's move on to here, this image. It's a beauty image, and the mission is I wanna change the background, the red area. And I will do it again. Here, I click inside the red area, check it, say, oh, okay, I selected some skin tones. I don't want to select them. So I can correct it a little bit. Here, okay. That looks good to me. And now you will see we have only the background, but we also have selected some areas of the lips. And that's the problem. What should we do now? But for us, it's no problem, because I will set it back here. I will undo that, click here on the arrow, and now we jump forward to the layers. Here's the layers tab. It's also a tool or a part of the register. And here I can click on the plus. So I will add a new empty mask or an empty layer. And if I hold the left mouse key and click on it, hold it, then you see new field adjustment layer. If I press shortcut M, now everything is red. You can change the color if you want, but now we have red. Okay, everything is masked. That's perfect, because now I jump back to the color editor, select my red ones again, check it, say, oh, okay, perfect, but I have some skin tones and the red lips. And now it's no problem for me, because first I want to change the background. Here I slide it to left. Now I have this, I think it's pink, or near to magenta, I don't know. And now I press shortcut E, and now here I hold the left mouse key and deselect the areas that I don't want to change. It looks like this one here, perfect. And now you can see here, it's my color editing. And also if I disable this adjustment layer, then it's perfect. Now I've changed only the background. And now imagine what you can do with this kind of function. Think about it. Painted the mask only on some details, change it, sharpen it, contrast only this little area, or desaturate completely the whole picture without the red lips to get the color key. Now, do you have some ideas for editing your images? And that's the magic. The absolutely best feature inside this raw converter is you can try everything. So I started with this information. I moved every slider to the left, to the right, or left or right, and try out everything. Because with one single double tap here on the slider, I can reset this one, or with click on reset, I reset the complete image. It's so quick and it gives you a lot of possibilities, and that's the magic behind Capture One. You will get out the best of your images if you train yourself. Click on every function, every tool, find out what happened when I move it to left, to right, disable it, enable it, paint the mask, unpaint the mask, remove the mask, and also some little details like you can name your layers and say, okay, that's background color change. And if you jump back to this image because you want to edit it a week later, then you know, okay, I changed the color here on the background. And that's a big benefit if you're using Capture One, if you're using the color editor and using layers. But that's not everything. You want to see more? No problem. Let's jump to a portrait. And here we will start the magic. And I will add a filled adjustment layer like you saw it before. So my complete image is red and I selected all of my image. And now my mission is to bring up the bright area here you see on this face here, to get more touchable contrast only in his face. And if I use only brightness, then I will brighten up my complete image. So I don't want to do that. So I move back to my adjustment layer, click on Luma range, and now, ladies and gentlemen, here happens some magic. I will display my mask, and now you can see the whole area is red. But now I will drag and drop this symbol here and move it to the right. And now you can see the mask is shrinking. And now we only have the lights here on the right side of his face. So we deselect the complete shadows, the mid contrasts, and selecting only the highlights. Here, with the little dragger here on the top or on the downside, you can make the area much more smoother, or bring it near to this one. Then you see it is a lot harder. So it's smooth function, it's perfect, because I don't want to see strange lines, so I have to smooth it a little bit. And now it's perfect. Let's make this one here a little bit more smoother. Okay, perfect, perfect. Now I click on apply, and now you can add every effect or tool here inside Capture One. But I will do it very basic and adjust the brightness. And now, before and after, you see the first point, and that's a really, really important information for you. If we have a look on images, then our first spot goes directly to the brightest area inside an image. And after this first spot, you will explore the rest of the image. And so I will add here this nice highlight. And now the user looks directly to the emotion of the face because I added this brightness. If you say, oh, okay, I bring up the brightness, but now it removed some details, then you can combine this effect with the HDR or high dynamic range and bring back the highlight. And now you see I can bring this effect here really, really hard inside my image, 35, 36, and adjust here minus 40, minus 50. And so I save some details, but I have the bright area. And that's perfect. That's a combination. That's what I talked about before. Try out everything and combine it together. That's so cool. And now you can use also the opacity. So you lower the opacity here and you see the effect on this complete layer will, seen more or less. That's also very nice. It's like in different other software, and I like it to overexpose it a little bit or bring in the effects a little bit harder, stronger, and then lower the opacity so I have more control over this this complete editing. That's a part of my workflow that I'm doing the whole day. Lower opacity or higher it a little bit. Let's jump back, create another field adjustment layer. You see, I really love to work on these layers because I always have the control where I want to bring in my effect or where not. And that's absolutely my recommendation to you. Try the layers, work with them. It's so easy if you understand how they work, and it makes a lot of fun. Okay, now I will show you another nice color function, and with this one you can create complete unique looks named color balance. The color balance normally shows it to you so. That's the standard version, but I really love the three-way. Now you see you have three balls: the shadows, the midtones, and the highlights. And now there are here these three color boards. Then you have the left slider and the right slider. The right slider you can use to bring in some brightness or to darken some areas only inside the selected area. It means here on the highlights I can higher the value or I can darken it, but only the highlights. Here in the shadows it's the same. I can darken the image totally or bring it up and get some little film look, you know? Some movies where the black tones are pumped up a little bit, and then you see this flat image but it looks a little bit nostalgic. You can adjust it with one slider. Very nice. And I will let it here because now let's bring in some color. It's so easy. You can click here on this area. I hold the left mouse key, and now you can drag and drop here this picker. And for this portrait I want a clean, cold look, a distance look. The blue color is perfect for this emotion. If you want to achieve a bright, friendly, happy look, then work with colors like yellow or red or orange, because all of them are friendly colors. If you want to achieve a sad or tragic look, a dark look, then use always cold colors like blue, cyan or magenta, but more the magenta near to blue. And here in this case I wanna have this tragic look because the lightning is very hard. And so here, if I drag this little circle near to the color, then way more color will add to the image. And if I only push it a little bit, then I get only a little part of this color on my image. And I really like that one here. You can also add some colors inside the highlights. Maybe these very, very, very little cyan look. And in the midtones, if you want, you can adjust the skin tone here a little bit and bring here a little bit more orange. And now let's bring in another before and after here with the Y key, before and after. You see everything with one tool, and that's magic. And you can try this tool with every kind of image: landscape, street, portrait, wedding. It's perfect for wedding. If we talk about wedding photography, then one thing is very important: doing editing and save a lot of time by copy one look and apply it on 1000 other images. And this can be so easy with Capture One. I will show it to you here with some drone images. I applied a look or curated a look, and now I can click here on copy, and then I will select all of my other images while I'm holding shift and clicking the last images in this case, and click on apply. And you see, after 1 second, every image will have the same look. That's so time saving. Yes. And there are two other nice little functions. First, I will undo that because I will show something later. I selected my edit image, click again on copy, but it can happen that you adjusted one detail like the brightness on one image and you say, I needed it only in this image, but not for the other 800, for example. So click on this little symbol here with the arrow, and then you can see, okay, here are all of my adjustments. Perfect. And you can select or deselect every information, okay? That means if you deselect the brightness and you apply the style on every other image, then the brightness will not be copied. That's perfect. But that's not enough. You can save this look right now as a style or a preset. And the cool thing is, if you are the type of person that always crop some images, then you can save the crop or save the look without the crop. Click here on these three little dots. They are always hiding some little options. And then click here on auto select, adjusted or adjusted except composition. That means you don't save the cropping. And then the second click goes to save a style. And now here I will name it test style. And now you can see here my test style with wrong spelling, but okay, no problem. If I move on to the next image and I hover over here my test, then Capture One simulates how this style will look on my image. And that's so nice because I created some different looks here, and then yeah, we will see here if I hover on it, there will be a lot of different looks. You can also only save some vignettes or some contrast steps and name it. It's so perfect. You save a lot of time. And if you do it with these styles, you also have a little option here on the three dots, stack styles. So if I want, I can say, please apply this one, then also this one, then please this one, and please that one. And you always see all of your applied styles here on the top side. And you also can say clear, 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 clear. Perfect. It's so easy if you understand how the system will work. And now we jump back, go into the custom styles, say, okay, please add the test style. And now I will select all of my images, say, hey, please also, bam, apply it. And the same style is now on so many images with one single clip and one time we selected all images. And that's the time saving feature in Capture One. Let's jump back and talk about the steps that we did together. First, we created a file management, in this case in Session. Then the second step was to bring in images via tethering function. With tethering, you benefit from a professional environment. You can see all of your images in seconds. You can capture images via this laptop. You don't have to go to the tripod and press the trigger. No, you can capture it via the laptop. Also have amazing features like the live view, the autofocus, and other tools that will help you while you work in your studio or in what kind of environment. It's so good to have these functions. The second step was to explore all of our layout and interface. And think about it. You can adjust it by yourself, like what you want, and save them as a workspace. To have it here or on your second computer. It's so perfect. In the fourth step, we saw how we can edit our images with amazing tools like HDR, the exposure tab, clarity, dehaze, and also things like color edit and color balance. And trust me, there are a lot more tools, and they will help you to save time and create stunning images. Step number 5 was styles and preset. It was so easy to copy and apply your styles to other pictures or save them as a preset to apply it via one click, right? I really love to work with this software. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my workflow. I hope that you had a lot of fun, that you learned something. I'm sure now you will try out Capture One, so get the 30 days trial version on the Capture One homepage or buy Capture One at Stavanger Foto here in the online shop. That was my presentation about Capture One. I hope you had a lot of fun. You understand everything that I want to share with you. If you have questions, let me know. Type it into the chat or the comment field and I will answer everything. Greetings from Germany. Have a lot of fun with Capture One. We see us next time. Bye, your Philip.